Okay. Hi. Oh, we've been at this for a few hours. Don't know what's going on. Brain connections aren't connected. We wanted to do a bird's eye view of opening the box, but on this channel. But this is the first time we're going live on this channel, and so we can only do it from our laptop. And we've attempted to do StreamYard and all kinds of things. And we almost thought we got there before with multiple cameras and inviting it, thought it would been really smart, but ended up getting feedback because we invited our different channels to get multiple camera views, which you're not meant to do. We also bought a month subscription for shared camera, but that has to go through the laptop. So we've been trying lots of things here, and we're going to keep on going, not going to give up. So because we've been going for a while, we thought we'd just touch up our nails, have our glass of elderflower champagne, and then go over to Shintosai and live stream it from Shintosai on a bird's eye view. We're not really sure how we're going to do that yet, but trust it's all going to unfold in the moment. Last time we were here, it's Christmas, Boxing Day. So there's been quite a bit going on since then. Mixed array of stuff. So, but that's all good. So we're just gonna, have a drink, see if anyone comes on and wants a chit chat, and then let things unfold to see if we can do a bird's eye view of the box opening of the Lafruma, and just play it by ear, because we didn't want to leave and be disappointed that we didn't succeed in anything. So we've got touching up our yellow sunshine nail varnish. It's Leo today. Tito Momota. It's not Leo today, is it? No, we went into Cancer yesterday, sun season. We're in Cancer today, I'm pretty sure, with the moon. Tito Pomomo. Oh yes, at 6 o'clock, we're going into a really long void of course. So we're not quite there. Oh, it's not Mercury retrograde, but there is an aspect to Mercury, because we thought that would be favourable to us on this whole setup for communication. Hannah, hello. Cheers. We can't make a clink sound. Hold on, we've got a little, what are these called again? Selenite wand. Careful not to spill it. We're all seeing a bit of a, there we go, a little bit of a ting. How are you doing? That's not too bad, actually. Different ones are losing their fizz and everything. Ah, it's lovely and sunny, isn't it? So we're looking down at the chat now when we talk to you. We need to look in the Logi camera. It's hard work figuring out all this tech business. Well, it's best not to have chipped nails if we're going to do a bird's eye view. And then when we get up to 25 subscribers on here, I think we can go live on our phone. So that's why we wanted to do it on this channel. But to go live on our phone from this channel, you need to have 25 subscribers, which is really good because it used to be a lot more. So can't grumble. Tell you what, we got really hot and sweaty trying to figure all that out a minute ago. What have you been up to, Hannah? Or should we say Green Fairy rather than your name? That's probably wiser, isn't it? You let us know. Can you hear us okay? We've got our new mic plugged in. So before we couldn't figure out how to use this one, but we figured it out. So we've got this mic down here with the Logitech camera. It's got a little furry thing in. It's meant to cut out sound. Oh, so we're excited about doing the box opening.
Sun time.
Oh, look at that! Paint our sunshine yellow nails at sun time. And that was what we were talking about, wasn't it? So we're embarking at 6 p.m. until 11:35 tomorrow morning, BST, British summertime. So what's that? That's 17 hours and 35 minutes void of course. Excellent. So we thought it's not so easy doing chit chat and painting your nails, even if it is just the tips. We thought we'd be in completely our own energy in the void of course. For the box opening, I don't know why the different altars have their different views and perspectives of why they want to do things, but I think we're just going to have to actually watch some videos of. I think we have attempted. Some of us have attempted it before. I think a number of us have to watch videos for then to click and make sense. So we're going to have to watch some videos of how to do a bird's eye, because it's going to be, when you've got tarot readers with the camera facing down, you can just see their hands. The camera must be really close to them. Which takes some skill to be. No, it doesn't take some skill. We lack spatial awareness, proprioception, is it? Hannah Green Fairy or anything else. Good today. What have you been up to? What have you been up to today? We're just really attempting to kind of get back on the wagon with doing videos and confidence, and just to see if it is what we're meant to do. But if we can't necessarily, we don't want to give up. We're not a giver upper. But if we aren't able to figure out how to set things up and stuff, it's going to be a bit tricky. Looking good. Is that us looking good? Thank you. We did actually attempt to put makeup on. We attempted it the other day, but we couldn't find it. We bought it at Christmas time and we put it on at Christmas for the first time in years. And then the other day when we went to put some on, we couldn't find any of it, but we found it. It was just in the drawer. We just didn't look deep enough in the back of the drawer. Learning to make an effort and self-care. Would you like us to pull a card for you, Hannah? We do have a couple of packs here. You can have a spontaneous private reading. Well, our nails dry. Yeah? Okay. So we'll do another round of that in a minute. We're going to get high on fumes and homemade elderflower champagne. So we got 3 astro dye here. So it's such a shame we can't. I want to be able to put up 2 pictures at a time as well, but yeah, we're gonna have to. We've got the StreamYard for a month now. We'll have to figure it out, won't we? Okay. I'm just gonna do some of our buzzing and humming. Connect ourselves into our center. Okay, so we've got Aries. There's the camera up there, isn't it? Not the right way around. It doesn't focus very well, does it? But yeah, I think you can see that's Aries with the South Node. It's got the line on the bottom. And 2. So if you know your birth chart, excuse us, the bubbles, it might be worth, there might be looking at where Aries is, looking where your South Node is, and looking where house 2 is. And even what we were going to do is like draw patterns, maybe draw a pattern between them and just see if there's any connections. So if we, so if we explain it for us first, so for our Aries is house 8, our house 2 is Virgo, and our South Node is Aquarius. So we did say to bring a pen and paper on the other one. Our brain networks are really functioning. So if you've got a pen and paper, as we talk it through for us, although this is for you, we're seeming to need to talk it through for us to be able to describe it to you. So for that, this is us attempting to sort our neural networks out. So look where your Aries is, what house it's in. Do you know what house? Do you know your birth chart? Do you know what house your Aries in? So our Aries is house 8. And it's got the planet Venus in it. Our South Node is house 6. And it's got, and it's Aquarius. And our house 2 is Virgo. That's Scorpio, but there we go. And we've got lots in Virgo, but house 2 specifically is actually Lilith and Saturn. No Aries. So the Aries is the body in the south. So if you've got no, when a house is empty, always do your own research. But what we read once was it means that that area is, it doesn't need to be much dancing or much work or much focus put on that area. It's maybe something that in past lives has you've got that skill naturally in you. Now for us, on our empty houses, which is like 10 and 11 and 12, if we've got that skill naturally in us, which I feel because of what we're going through, and since we've been learning about all of this, this is our little one's perspectives and our little one's brain networks, which we have to grow up to get to the ones of us that we remember before our seizures and all of this exploded. And because it'd be like, well, hold on, if we were naturally gifted at this, why is it taking so long? Why is it so hard? Because 10, your house 10 is like, it's the start of your ICMC, midheaven. It's the starter, it's like your career and what's meant to be going on, and we're not doing very well at that. But that's because we're still in a stage where we need to heal. And so we feel that the deeper in we go to our heart, navigating through all this, the more we'll get connected, because we're on a path of, don't like the airy fairy wording, but a spiritual divine alignment path. And so our career will unfold, our 11, the community, the digital world, actually, because it's the house of Aquarius, that will all come together. That's the last bit in the chart. But there's fundamental energetic foundations that need to be maybe untangled, rewired, integrated, all of it, which is happening. But it's happening in a very creative way. And actually on our short, which is on our Shintosai channel, actually, it's creative study, it's abstract logic, or logical abstract, kind of like there's a logic and a pattern to the abstract, which I suppose the abstract is chaos, and it's where there's order and harmony brought into the chaos, into that creativity. So if your house one is the body, because we've kind of you've shared stuff with us before about your body in house one. So if you don't have any planets in Aries, and we're doing a lot of this intuitively, but we have lots of different ones of us have done lots of research, but it's just not in our conscious mind, and it doesn't come across in a what we feel to be what we're familiar with, a coherent, planned, structured way. So I suppose this is intuitive flow state. So there's maybe stuff going on for you with your body where it isn't in harmonic postural alignment, where there's a sense of ease and connectedness between your heart, your body, and your mind. But that will come, but it will come when there's more, it'll come at a divine, the same, a divine order, an aligned timing, a stage where there's, come on, it's coming, it's there. So the houses that you do have planets in, that need your awareness, that need your attention. And when there's a certain amount of balance and harmonic integration between the awareness and the attention with all your houses with the planets in, the houses without the planets will then have a foundation to release your natural gifts and skills from whatever lives you've lived before. Does that make sense? Because that last bit made sense to us, even though we got there. Aquarius in your house 2. That's fascinating, because if we go into numerology, house 11 is the collective consciousness home of house 2, because that's what we'd then do. Like you'd write down what we've just said there, the Aries South Node and 2. You'd then write down your house and your planet that's in those Aries South Node and 2. So you've got no Aries, Aquarius house 2. That's the number. Okay. And don't know your South Node. That's interesting. They're easy to find out. You can just go into AstroSeek and type it in and find it out. And for us, we dance with the nodal, the moon and nodal energies. For us, your South Node is your past, where you've come from. Your North Node is kind of like your destination and where you're heading. And for us, living our cycles by the moon, especially being women, humans, because we are mostly made of water, being women with the menstrual cycle, the moon creates the tides, creates the seasons, influences, gardening by the moon. So if there's so much living by the cycles of the moon can really bring our lives into a sense of intuitive balance. The moon's the feminine, the internal, so it allows a deeper sense of connection and understanding of self or selves, which can then give us a deeper understanding of others, especially if we're empaths, because when we know what our shizes is, then we can discern what other people's shizes is. And this is all great information for us to be listening to as well. You've got a Sagittarius ascendant. That's your rising. We've got a Leo Virgo cusp rising, Capricorn Mercury, and Sun all house 1. Yeah, so your ascendant will be a start of house 1. So you've got fire, earth, Capricorn, Sun. So your house 1 is made up of Sagittarius, then going into Capricorn. House 1 is the south. So how we do it is, humanity tends to look at things in the part, in the masculine. Society's logical. But for us, the universe is everything in the universe is a relationship between one thing and another. So when we're just looking at one part of our chart, that doesn't really make sense to us. We feel we need to be looking at the whole chart, because it's looking at the whole. And then you can look at the parts to understand certain aspects of self, life, connections. But when we look at the whole chart, we get a better idea of what's going on. But again, we do things differently, because we tend to do things a lot by numbers, rather by the conventional way, although we do bring in conventional bits of knowledge. But you tend to get a lot of people saying different things, and that causes a lot of dissonance for us. So we tend to have our chart, and then we get the collective's chart. So you've got a Sagittarius ascendant in house your Sagittarius ascendant is the start of house one, and then so your house one is maybe quite have quite a lot of degreeage in it. Um, might not, but when you don't get equal, you don't get you can get the equal houses, but for us life isn't equal, it isn't symmetrical like that. It has the ebb and flow, it has the high amplitude, low amplitude, and it's kind of spread out and it changes. So sometimes it's going to be small houses, sometimes it's going to be big houses, like sections on cutting a cake, a big slice or a small slice. So house one in the collective is Aries, and so therefore we would so we're going to do another sidetrack. When the police is looking for someone and they can do a triangulation on the phone, they do 3 telegraph phone signal things to find that phone, a triangulation. So we kind of do that with the charts. So you'd be at house one, Sagittarius, Capricorn energies, earth and fire, which is wonderful because, putting it literally, humans get terrified when there's earth fire, when you get a load of bush or land or forestry catch on fire. But this is the natural state of the ecosystem. This is earth's natural way of clearing out to burn out and then have the new growth come back through. So Sagittarius, fire and earth, and you've got Sagittarius, so you've got the oldest fire. It's interesting because you've got the youngest fire energies, Aries, the oldest is Sagittarius, Leo in the middle. Sagittarius is mutable, so you have the most mature of the fire energies in the least mature of the houses, which is house one, which is the beginning of the cycle. You've got it with earth, so there's this purification going on in the earth. So if we relate that to the body, because house one is the body, it's the self, the earth aspect of the body, earth is a solid, foundational, dense material. So it's the bones, it's the real structure of your body. Capricorn actually rules your bones, your skin, your joints, your knees. So this is an area which could need attention and energy in a way where one has to discern whether there's going to be too much attention or energy or too little, or sometimes, or see how it fluctuates. Mercury is communication and expression, but if we take words out of the equation, because we feel that words can be really quite limiting and cause confusion, communication and body language, communication through the heart, communication through all the psychic senses. Oh, bless you. That's all right. Yeah, okay, there must be something in the air with concentration. And if your Mercury is in house one, we did just say there was an aspect to Mercury, didn't we? Which we thought would benefit us, but I don't think did benefit us. Let's just see what that Mercury aspect was. Hi, Hannah's daughter. Just waiting for it to come up. So let's do some cards. And if your daughter's there and she's typing, it would be interesting for your daughter. So, because we talked about the triangulation, whereas we've just been talking about your chart, you can do the triangulation in your chart between those 3. And there might be a few triangulations because, oh no, there won't, because you've got the house, the planet. So you could work out the collective. So how Aries would be house one in the collective. The south node for the collective, you could look where the south node currently is. The south node currently, you're on the oh tito pomo maita tai tumu tai ta tai ta pa. Words, my lovelies. We've just made connections. So currently we're in fixed energies on the nodal paths. The north node's in Taurus, if we're not mistaken, and the south node is in, it's not Uranus, the opposite Taurus, Scorpio. Our Uranus is in Scorpio, you see. But Uranus is actually currently in Taurus. So for us, Uranus is about waking up. Our Uranus is natal chart is Scorpio. The current Uranus is in Taurus. In Taurus, we have a Chiron, our wounded child, wounded healer, the aspects of self from our childhood traumas that we need to navigate with unconditional love and compassion and patience. So Uranus is connecting with our Chiron in Taurus to wake them up, which is the North Node, the destination. So you may wish to look to see what's in your Taurus, what's in Taurus and what's in Scorpio for you for the current nodal paths. But very soon the nodal energies is changing and it goes back, because most of the time the nodal North Node and South Node are retrograde. And so we're going from Taurus into Aries for the North Node and from South Node into Libra. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer is the global axes. You've got Cancer in your house 1, which is also the collective of Aries. So the collective unconscious and the collective conscious of humanity, which is everyone's conscious mind, everyone's subconscious mind energies integrating into the quantum field. And because it's the global axes, there's a lot of stuff happening in the collective, in politics, land stuff, everything to do with the globe and humankind, of the collective unconscious of humankind and the collective consciousness of humankind. So if stuff in your life starts getting antsy, agitated, there might be a lot of stuff stirred up, because the way we perceive things and the way we look at things is people can brush off and just say, oh, that's the collective consciousness, that's nothing to do with us, we'll separate from it. Whereas for us, if there's been a resonance between the collective energetics for us, be it a dissonant or harmonic, that's our guide and our teacher to frequencies and patterns and habits in ourself that still have trauma residues and trauma frequencies that need to be alchemized, that need to be nurtured and released and loved, whether that's through, we don't like the talking therapies, we just see that as regurgitation of the mind. It goes over the loop in the mind for us, doesn't connect to our body. So for us it's breath work and maybe movement or dance, but for us it tends to be movement on the floor or listening to music. If we want to consciously process things, we can listen to music and see how the words affect us. But if we want to do it on a subconscious level, so we can give our beautiful brain a gentle break, then we can listen to things that have language we don't understand, or just music and tunes that doesn't have words to it. So it's a communication between the sensory systems of the body without getting the conscious minds involved. Hi, Florence. That's a lovely name. Do people call you Flo? Is it short? We're just thinking all this. Florence Nightingale. And you probably get all this. And is there a country called Florence in Austria? I don't know where that's come from. This is how our brain works. Oh, look, it's come up. So today is the 22nd. The energies are starting to go back down again as well. And because we're so close to the summer solstice, there's lots of changes going on. So you can think of a glass of water that's got some soil in it. It's being shaken up at the moment. So some settling down time needs to happen where we adjust to the new energetics. And I feel that you're sensitive like us. Flola, oh, that's beautiful. Flola. It's got a nice ring to it on the L's. 22nd. The moon, of course, they're all moon aspects. We should have got that. The moon is sextile Mercury at 20 degrees. So these coming out then are very aligned, because 20 degrees is, the big number 2. It's the 22nd today. So we did this for you, with you in our mind. But there's obviously strong connections between your astrological energy, natal astrological energies, and the collectives. So just be patient and gentle with yourself and nurturing, and whatever tools you use to, maybe lots of beneficial healthy liquids, water, herbal teas. If you want sweetener, raw organic honey. Keep away from processed and go to natural whole foods and things to do things to help flush out your system. Lots of fruit, that they detoxify the body. There's lots of phytonutrients in fruit to detoxify, help get antioxidants and free radical damage. So yeah, so let's get a couple of cards. We've got a couple of packs of cards here. You have to see, look, we've got the screen really close to us. How we would do the screen, mind you, we wouldn't need to do the screen if we're doing a bird's eye view, would we? So we're talking about patterning. So we're going to do the pocket. We don't like this webcam for this. The pocket, mind you, it is a webcam, not for stuff like this. The Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot. So it's going to be the Wild Unknown because that's got it's got the animals in it, but it's got the patterns. We get a lot from the patterns in this one. We like the light seers. We tend to get quite a bit from that one. And Tito Pomon Pai Taita. Our little ones like this one because there's lots of black cats. It reminds us of when we lived in our van with Takoda, our black cat, and used to come on coastal, even just the picture, he used to come on the coastal path walks with us. So we're going to take a couple of cards from them. That was like the funeral box that we were going to open. And then, we might do this one. We've got some oracle. So we're going to do the Green Witch Oracle. There might be some vegetables or food that might come out on that one for you. And then you can choose Coco, Tito Pomotai. Coco and Kiki were the names of the little wooden elephants for us before we went into the psych ward. So yeah, there's a lot in the names of Coco and Kiki. Kiki's the masculine because it's all straight lines and points, and Coco is the feminine. So that's really interesting. Which you can have one or two of these. Got Native Spirit, Elemental Oracle, or Earth Magic. So if there's any of them that take your fancy, let us know and we'll pull those cards. Put them over there. Okay, so we're going to get a Green Witch Oracle for an overall energy. So these are the cards on these. They have Astro on it, but it's all food. What, we need to say stuff out loud. It's probably better for the viewer. What can be Tito Pomomo? It is lovely of her daughter to be doing that for her, isn't it? What's the overall energy for Green Fairy for Hannah? Elemental. It's just the Elemental Oracle. Earth Magic and the Elemental Oracle. Okay. So, oh, there we go. Titomo. So we have, do you like pumpkin? We've got pumpkin. So it's not really the season for pumpkin, but it's Kent pumpkin. Isn't that really fitting for you? Kent pumpkin. Productivity. It's Cancer, which is the sun season we've just gone into. Number 8. So again, number 8 is the number of manifestation. There might be, you might want to look in your house 8 to see what's going on there in your natal chart. It's an earth sign, the triangle going down with the line through it. So pumpkins are normally carved out at Halloween. Carving out is being creative again. So tapping in to see what brings you joy and happiness from any kind of creative passions um, that don't use up much energy, don't take a lot of energy. So yeah, if there's anything you do, you like making jewelry, knitting wool, movement dancing, any kind of creative, we would say something creative with your hands, because it's carving the pumpkin. So if carving the pumpkin's coming to us, it's about using your peripheral nervous system, using your peripheral nervous system, your limbs of action, specifically your hands, because it's the carving of the pumpkins that came to us. So doing something that brings you joy and happiness, that utilizes your hands, doesn't take up much energy. So it's something that you want to do when you want to do it, will be a good tool to help facilitate and shift and move through any of the collective consciousness energies that are resonating with you in a dissonant way and causing any chaos. It will help kind of shift that through a bit. Maybe some self-love and some self-touch and massage. Little's just said, paint your nails. And maybe if there is something that you can do with your hands, that's creative, that doesn't take much energy, because I know you're similar to us with your energy levels, that give you a sense of feeling productive. Tito Pomo. They just said wash your dishes by hand, not a dishwasher. That can be hard work, but there's little things like that where just wash a couple of plates standing up. Our dishwasher's kind of broken. We've been doing that for a while, and have actually purposely been we've not ever got on top of our kitchen, but have been doing that to kind of help us stand up more and help us move. I bet your mum didn't tell you to write that one, did she, Flola? No chance. Knitting, excellent. And maybe you can teach your mum to knit. That's what helped get us, after our seizures, rolling joints for us, and that muscle memory, neurological pathway memory was really good for us. But we don't smoke, we don't drink anymore when you're doing that, because it's homemade. But we don't drink or smoke or do anything like that, because we choose hard paths, sadly. Okay, so that's your card: productivity, pumpkin, earth. So we've got the earth energies coming up. Grounding, especially if you are going to be smoking, smoke in the garden, barefoot. Get some real grounding stuff in, so that you kind of, and it depends, I suppose it depends what you're smoking, because when we did have it, we grew our own, and we grew so many different ones. So whether it's a body stone, a headstone, whether it help us focus, whether it help us sleep, so it depends what you're smoking. In a way, we're just going to look at the spectrum of energies, and it's 33 on the bottom. Tito Pomomo three. And we were just talking about abstract logic. So 33, if you turn one of the threes round and put them together, you actually have 8. And that's, 3 is half of 8, or half of 6 logically, but half of 8 abstract logically, creatively. It's a black mulberry. So blackberries. Blackberry and pumpkin cake. I'm sure you can make pumpkin sweets as well as savory, can't you? Maybe a pumpkin and blackberry cake or something, or pie. And then on the top, we're keeping the 3 frequency, but we've got a 31. So limes, having a lime. We have lime in with our lemon and honey. Maybe making a fresh mojito if you're wanting to relax and loosen up a bit. That's also Capricorn. That's Aquarius. You mentioned Aquarius, didn't you? And Capricorn. Aquarius is in your house too. So your spectrum of energies is Aquarius and Capricorn. So your house 1 and your house 2 are very important. House 1 is yourself, your body. House 2 is your values. What are your fundamental values that connect to your heart? Because that will then maybe lead to understanding of helping you connect to passions. And when we connect to our passions, and what brings us joy, again, it helps free up the tension in the body. If we free up the tension in the body and we have hypermobility, the freed up tension, the strings, threads, can then go to knitting and weaving and mending the slack areas of the body. So it's really interesting that you knit, Flola, because everything that happens in our immediate environment, especially when there's such quantum entanglement between your quantum field, your electromagnetic field, Hannah, and yours, Flola, there will be constantly dancing with each other in so many, all the time without our conscious mind understanding. And then that has a deep mirrored reflection pattern going inward on the layers. So this is you talking now that you're hypermobile too, Flola, because we know your mum is. So we're making the assumption that that's you too. Tito pomo tai topopai. So it's really interesting that we've come on to do a live on here because we wanted to go live. We needed to go live. There was an intuitive, that's all our conscious mind's reasoning, but there's a heart pull to go live on here before going live on Shinto side to do the box opening. But we feel in this moment the underlying oh, your mum's not hypermobile, it's just you. Okay, we thought your mum was a bit as well. That's interesting because we know your mum has body stuff going on too. Is your mum more rigid then? Because that would make sense to us if your mum's got more rigidness going on in her body, because as you being her daughter, as the patterning goes down in the generations, to counterbalance it, we can tend to go to extremes. Yeah, makes absolute sense. So your energies are really learning from each other, and to facilitate it's not being less hypermobile, because we have the rigidity and we have the hypermobile in us, and in a way everyone that's hypermobile does kind of have that rigidity or that tension in areas, and it's really tricky to find the ways, this is what we're experiencing, find the ways or the movements or the exercises to strengthen the areas that are hypermobile. And to do that, we kind of have to release the areas that are tight. But this is all done in a body intuitive level. So for us, we feel, as we're going through this, we feel our purpose is that we're body intuitive, and what we're going to be sharing is related to not through here but through the breath. So rather than doing, let's say, yoga and going to a yoga class or doing an online yoga class, it would be about connecting with your breath until our breath makes our body move. But I mean, for us, that's taken a whole long time because of our split personalities. There's been loads of holes in all of our matrix of the body, the layers of the connective tissue and the fascia, and it's like blowing up a balloon. If you blow up a balloon and there's lots of holes in it, there's going to be lots of leaks. But we currently are now getting to states where we're able to breathe better, and our body starts doing things. And it's amazing considering we've never had that connection with our body, whereas we know people that are yoga teachers that go, well, my body tells me what to do through the breath, and we're just like, what? Whereas like decades later we're starting to understand that, but it's been a conscious journey for us to kind of get there. So yeah, that's really interesting actually, all of that's come out. So those are those cards there. So let's see what the light seers is gonna tell us. So we've got Capricorn and Aquarius energies going on. That's the given card. Lime was the top, conscious aware, and the wholeness was the bottom. So that makes sense. Tito Pomo, we didn't read the words. Lime is luck. So the conscious aware spectrum of energies that we're dancing in, one end of the line, the seesaw, is luck. So we don't really agree with luck, but we would say if we've come on now and you guys are here, and what's been coming to us lately is there's a shift happening. I know there's lots of shifts happening going on, but we're really feeling that there's the shifts kind of happened on a deep subconscious level, whether it's the subconscious of the earth and deep underground in earth, or the subconscious of humanity, the collective unconscious, or in ourselves. But it can take time for those unseen, expansive Jupiter energies, the quantum energies, to be compressed, to get dense, to travel through the different systems, for different things to happen on the timeline, to then actually have the shift in the conscious mind awareness. So there's all of this, there's portals, there's gateways, there's doorways, there's opportunities happening where we can embrace the synchronization and the harmony between the collective energies of nature, collective consciousness and unconscious, and our individual, to what's the word? So we haven't got the words for this again, so we're just gonna have to sidetrack. So don't know if you know anything about surfing, but if one is surfing and they want to get out back, and you've got quite a few waves coming in, which makes sense because you need them to surf, then you can get a bit of a channel. So there's it's a rip or an out rip. So you get an out rip that takes you out, and you go onto that rip so that you exert less energy paddling out, but you then have to get off that rip, otherwise you'll get taken out to sea. So to transfer that, because we're really learning how to navigate what comes to us, not taking it personally, but then transfer it into what the message is. And so for us, the message there is jump on the wave of the collective energies. And while we're talking about triangulation earlier, so jump on the collective wave. So if you feel something resonating in you, harmonically or dissonantly, jump on that wave if you're in a state to be able to do that. To get yourself into a state to be able to do that, we'd say safely, connect with nature, eat whole foods, make yourself a blackberry pumpkin cake or flapjack or something. We've never heard of such a thing, but you might know. Have yourself a hot or cold lemon and lime and honey drink once a week. Have yourself a fresh ginger, you don't put ginger in mojitos, a fresh mint, a fresh really healthy good raw brown sugar, and lime in an organic alcohol. So we're not promoting alcohol and drinking, but we're just saying if you do drink or you're wanting to loosen up, then treat yourself, say you're worth it, spend some money on this whole food, this good quality stuff. And there's always different avenues. Jump on that wave, flow with it, whether it's in dissonant or a harmonic way, but know when to kind of get off, because then we need to stop and go into shavasana, corpse pose, stillness, because when we have that stillness happening after the momentum and the movement, that's when the real integration happens of changing old habitual patterns, releasing the old, going into the new, etc. Are we making any sense, or is it just all a bit like blurby? Oh, good. Good. So we're just going to go on to this a little bit, and then we might have a break and just do the tips of our nails again, and then we'll do a bit more, and then we'll be all set up to do the box opening over on Shintosai. Dito Momo Tai. Yeah, you don't want to watch videos to learn how to do stuff, but you understand why now, don't you? Yeah, Dito Momo. Yeah, we won't get very far without doing stuff like that, my lovelies. And it's really good to actually hear you say that. And we're really happy that this is that you're loving the advice. Tito Popai Tana. Because when we give advice that you love, and that, what did you just say? When we give advice that the other person loves and resonates, it helps us too. Okay, it helps us too. But that's not a reason to do it, is it? I don't know. We're not even going to go down that one because we're just going to a whole head Fuck. We just got to stay with the intuition and not go over the craziness of the thoughts. We did get cards the other day though. We're in the summer solstice is going to be the next 3 months for us it's a time of intentional thought, which is the precursor or the foundations to then go into intuitive thought. So I'm guessing that will kind of maybe be autumn time, but the foundations have been laid for that anyway. So for us, the thought is kind of conscious understanding awareness, where we're very much in intuitive subconscious flow, not being able to bring clarity and awareness to the conscious. But if we start bringing more focused attention to our conscious, and it doesn't matter what that is. Oh, that's good. We haven't heard that one before. It doesn't, because we always think that we don't ever know what intention to put. We get confused with all that. But just to put an intention and make an intention, there's no wrong or right, will start those energies flowing and the rest will happen. Okay, so a card to go with productivity. Oh, is that? No, that's too many. Put them back. We couldn't find the Empress card in this, so you have the Empress from the Muse pack in this one. Is it sunny where you are? Sunny down here in Cornwall. We had a little bit of rain. A bit more shuffling, and then we'll choose one if one doesn't jump out. Tito Momo, oh, you want to swap hands? Okay. Shuffle the other way. So weird. This is how we used to shuffle, and now it feels really uncomfortable because we've been shuffling the other way for so long. So even if you've got cards, we use our cards, and for us, all the different shapes and sizes of the cards and packets of the cards, they're all a different feel and length, and so they're exercise for our hands, for our peripheral nervous system. So what we were talking about with carving and creating with your hands, even just shuffling cards and playing with cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, if you've got any. Beautiful day, wonderful. Glad to hear it. Would feel a bit guilty if you had rain. We want rain at night and sun in the day so that we don't have to water our plants with the watering can. So we're going to put a card, and it's the Hermit. So she's floating, radiating light. So the Hermit it's really interesting. You might like to watch that short that we just did on the Shintosai because we're on a 52-week chakra journey. This will give you a few words out of here in a minute for your planets that you said. So we're on week 14, and so the spring equinox ended day before yesterday, and the summer solstice started yesterday, and so we just pulled new cards for it, and the Hermit and stuff came out in there. So there might be something on that little short that resonates. At the start of this path, there's steps, but then the steps cease and it's just a gradient uphill. So it may not be initially easy if you're willing and choosing and wanting and ready to, because it feels like it resonates and it makes sense to you, to apply some of the advice that we've given today. Initially, it may not be easy. Initially, there's going to be some steps, but then it's a flat gradient. You don't have the steps, so it's going to start getting easier. Even though it still might be an uphill climb, the uphill climb can be easier sometimes on the body than going downhill. I know when we climbed Ben Nevis in Scotland, it was our groin going up that got us, and coming down, it was our knees and our feet and our ankles. Also, what we're getting from that is We've said about doing things with your hands and your fingers, doing something with your legs and your knees. So if there's any kind of, I don't know if you've maybe got a rebounder or a trampoline, or something that you can put on the floor that isn't solid, it's got a bit of kind of wobble in it or a bit of bounce in it, and just maybe do some gentle knee lifts, maybe even the knee lifts where you bring your right elbow to your left knee or your left elbow to your right knee. I think we've got to do a disclaimer now. We're just an ordinary layman. We're not a professional. You've all got to take self-account. You've got to take self-accountability and self-responsibility for your own health and well-being, and always seek out a professional in whatever area. We're just doing some intuitive tarot reading. But when you do this, it's going to develop certain muscles in the body that maybe haven't been used. Leg muscles, obviously, because you're using your legs, but less obvious ones that are going into your central nervous system, that then might connect with your peripheral nervous system, because your central nervous system is your emotional house. And so when our emotions are out of balance, it's generally because our peripheral nervous system is out of balance. So if we don't have strong limbs of action, strong peripheral nervous system to counterbalance the central nervous system, there's no calibration. They need to be calibrated together again. And it's always the initial journey, the initial start of something is always challenging. We were just saying how the energies are shifting from spring equinox to summer solstice. So we're changing from seasons. And when we are sensitive people, that can really influx the energy in us. And look at that on the bottom of the pack again, we have 2 of cups. So there's that 2 again. So two for us is one of the bridges. So for us, the Tesla code, the 3, the 6, the 9 is the secret, like Tesla said, to bring the order into the chaos. And that's the unseen energies, the expansive energies, the Jupiter energies, the quantum realms. And then your 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, they're the tangible seen reality. They're what we experience with our 5 physical senses. That's all how all the information comes in. And so 2 and 8 are the bridges from the seen tangible going into the unseen. So you've got that kind of triangulation, that point going on. And there is the 2 people with the hands. We've been talking about the hands and the focus of the hands. You and your daughter, you to a T. You're with your daughter at the moment, so there's some, I don't know, we can't put words to it, but there's something to do with you and Flola, and how your energies integrate together, that's going to help this calibration technique, so to learn off each other. So I would even maybe suggest those numbers and what came out at the start. Oh, we've said that already, haven't we? To Flola's natal chart, your natal chart, the collective natal chart of where the actual astrological stuff is at the moment, and to see if what we've talked about today can be more of a collaborating, doing something together. Tito put more mai tanana. So our little ones now are saying, do you know when you're with 2 people and you do that string game on your fingers, where you've got a string and you make it into patterns and you pass it on to the next person and pass it back? You've got your wool, you can do it. Well, she might not be knitting with wool, but yeah, you've got your wool or your string already. No excuses. So you can maybe create one of those things. And then you can also do that with, you might think you need 3 people for it, but you can put 2 of the elastics round a chair or something, and then the other person stands there. And you can also do that game with where you do that with the strings. We used to do that when we were younger, so that's what's just coming to mind then. And then what's on the top of the pack is your Page of Wands. So we've actually the energy, the cards and stuff that have come out for you were so in alignment, because literally yesterday, you were like this, it's the Patch Wisdom Wheel from Jordan River. We use this a lot. We're not going to get up now, but we've got the little mini tarot cards where we just physically change it, so it kind of, that's our physical kinesthetic learning. But we've just moved yesterday, the 21st, we've just moved in to Cancer, Venus, the Two of Cups with the Queen of Cups. So those are the energies that we've moved into. So that is the unseen, the unconscious, the connection with the collective energies that are going on from putting the unseen spiral vortex rounds into a linear, logical, two-dimensional format tool. Oh, you like clapping games? Oh, yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Perfect. And then when you stop the clapping and just give each other a bit of like a hand reflexology, intuitive. Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, the Page of Wands. So we're in the twos at the moment. The aces and the pages are what are in the middle of this. So your Page of Wands. Tito momo, tai tai topopo pai. Unbelievable. I love it. So so we're saying how we've just moved into the Two of Cups yesterday. The center, the season that we've just moved into is the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. So this is the center energies, the top, the conscious, the seen, the aware is the center of that circle. And just near the outer circle is the Two of Cups. So that's the spectrum energy that we're dancing on within then. That's just like, we absolutely love that. So Wands is the fire, the passion, the creativity, Sagittarius energies. We see aces as a beginner energy from a baby energetics, as in like unconditional love, as in pure innocence, no sense of identity. Pages we see as teenage new ages. We're just starting to develop a sense of identity. We're having to choose what subjects at school or college to kind of then go on to for where we want to go. So again, this is linking into finding those passions and those creative things that involve the hands. She's actually got a staff, so you may not have a staff, but you may have a broom. You may be able to take the handle off the broom. Tito Pomomotaina. We're going back to that video you sent us now, and the movements that were going in your body. We're just feeling the energy. We can't quite grasp it. But if you have a broom and you can get the stick off the broom and use it like a staff, you just twiddle it. Because for us, the furthest out we go on the peripheral nervous system, the deeper we go into our center. So that movement that was happening in the body to quite an extreme at times, but also seemed to be the same pattern happening, which means there's a loop that isn't taking its spiral vortex of patternings. It's more of a one plane dimension of a circular loop. It might not be a circular loop, but it's still a spiral, but it's on one plane rather than that going round and on different planes. And so if you can get your broom, your staff, that is a stick, it's linear. And so just having it in your hand, attempting to twist it behind your back, attempting to twist it on your head. If you twist it on your head, you're working on that dimension. With your arm up, you're going to be doing muscles on your inner side waist. Because it's your fingertips and you're going deep, you're probably going to be going into your left side waist. It's not that simple because you've got your opposite to your front shoulder, could be opposite back shoulder, it could be opposite here, it could be opposite here, or it could be the same down on your hips. You have all this different patterning in the body, hence the importance of leading with the breath and the heart to get that movement in. So yeah, there's some more stuff going on there and coming out there. We're getting mind blown with this. Yeah, this is really fun. We've been nervous about. Let's go to the patterns first before we go to that, because that might make us go young. And if we go young, I don't know if we'll be able to do patterns as such. That's okay, we can sort all this out again at another time. Loads of us have got different stuff going on with all these tarot decks and everything. It's just kind of like, we're in the process of doing that. And it's like, yeah, but we want our decks back in order. So we'll put these back in. This is a really good start actually, because what time are we on? What, 6:30 already? When we go and do the box opening, we're going to do just pull a card for each. I wish we could find one. We can always have to shift our body. Pull a card for each astrological sign and bring it all together, and then Ophiuchus, is it the 13th sign on the astronomical rather than the astrological? The astrological is a man-made tool. The astronomical is the actual layout of the stars in the sky. Ophiuchus is the great healer. So for us, we'll talk about the whole and the part. We see each astrological sign. For instance, Sagittarius rules the hips, the thighs, the liver. A liver detox might be something you want to investigate and research into. We said what Capricorn rules. If you look at some books, though, we've got some books that actually say it's the planets that rule these areas, not the star signs. Because again, every West is different. There's no wrong or right. There's just different people from different perspectives going to different depths and different realms of the unseen energetic world, realities. I mean, you have to move it up. There it is. Mercury and the Sun all in house 1. Sagittarius ascendant, Capricorn Mercury. So Mercury also is the ruling planet of Virgo and Gemini. Virgo is your intestines. What else is Virgo? Is it intestines and stomach? And Gemini is your hands and your arms and your shoulders and your lungs and your nervous system. I don't know what you smoke in your joints. If you smoke ordinary tobacco, it might be a consideration to start smoking native spirit. Not Native American, don't go smoking any Native American Indians. Native spirit tobacco or Pueblo tobacco that's not got chemicals in it, or maybe investing in a vape so you can vape it and get stoned with a vape instead of a joint. Not all the time, because it's hard. If we are into the rolling of the joints and the smoking, then we need to find something else to do with our hands. So it can be a gradual process to getting to the graduation if you do want to develop your optimum healthy lung capacities back again. Because we can't gain full alignment in our postural body if our lungs aren't able to be utilized to their full capacity of all the 3/3 of the lungs. They're just ideas. It's free will, free choice. We're not telling you to stop smoking or anything. We're just sharing what's coming to us and sharing the information and knowledge that we have. So that's the Mercury. The lungs also oxygenate the heart. So, I mean, for us to start with, after the seizures, it was smoking the joint that enabled us to take inhalations. We didn't seem to be able to do it on our own. We also learned that we were needing to inhale through our mouth in a certain way. So when we stick our tongue out and curl it and inhale, that's the yin breath. The yin is the rest and digest of the nervous system. That's the intestines. So I don't know if you have any digestive issues, but maybe doing that's going to help activate your left vagus nerve and kick in the rest and digest and help the breathing. And the more that you naturally do that, other things might start falling away naturally if that's what's wanted and needed as well. Because one of our main focuses has been that we don't want to force anything, and it's not about giving things up. It's about adding things too that bring us fun and joy, and then there eventually isn't enough space for all of it. So the stuff that doesn't bring us fun and joy and serve our wholeness, our whole body wholeness, the wholeness of our whole body, our mental body, our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, our sexual body, just starts naturally falling away, and that's easy. And then that's, you know, I want life to be easy as possible when it's, you know, life ain't the easiest at times, is it? So anything you can do to make it more fun and joyful and easy is welcomed. So what cards can we go? We'll do the spectrum of energies again. Oh, there we go. Where have you gone, you little sneaky one? I think it's the 7 or 8 of cups. No, it's the 9 of cups. Oh, that's wonderful. So if one was to take the fun, joyful option of adding things in that bring joy, that are eating food, fuel for your body, that's got life force energy and that is alive, doing things for the body. It may be, I know for us, we had to be stoned to do certain things. When we're watching TV, we'll hold on to our hammock and put stuff under our feet to get that wobble. So rather than just not watching something and attempting to do a practice there where we connect with our breath and our body, we'll do the practice that connects to our breath and our body. This is for our little ones would do it while they're watching what they wanted. So we've got them being distracted watching while we're doing other stuff with the body. And so the 9 of cups, it's the 9s are a completion in the physical form, completion in the seen, tangible reality dimension. So when we do choose free will, because we want to create this sense of wholeness and harmony, then there is this completion in the physical, seen, tangible dimension of the emotions. So this will be the emotions of the chemical reactions that take place in the digestive system, that sends the signals through up to the brain through the circulatory system. So the more oxygen there is in the circulatory system, that's where we need iron. To have the iron that carries the oxygen, you need the vitamin C. So making sure that our mineral intake and our vitamin intake, because you need to do your minerals first, then the vitamins, make sure the body and the hormone systems can function in their optimum resonant way, brings one to a self-sufficiency, to a centeredness, to a calibration where there's a bit of green at the bottom, then you've got your blues and indigos up to your reds, so you've got your purple to your red. So there's this, rather than all physical ailments manifest in the lower 3 chakras below the heart, the red, the orange, the yellow, they're the slower wavelengths, they're the denser wavelengths. Then the heart is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, where the wavelengths are faster. And so as the frequencies and the vibratory and as our world is speeding up, we need to adjust and nurture our physical vessel, especially as we get older, because it doesn't just happen naturally like it does when we're younger, to accommodate that faster vibration. Otherwise it'd be like putting boiling water into a Tupperware pot that doesn't have clip-on lids, and the lid's just gonna blow off with the expansion and the heat. And so when we've got that connection with our heart, and our heart's always the filter which we connect using our breath, because breath is breathing in the oxygen, breath is breathing in the great spirit that's all around us, that goes in and through us, that gives us the energy from the oxygen in the blood and the iron, that life force energy, so that when we are instinctively flowing with the energetics up through the higher chakras, it can free flow out of the crown chakra, come around to the expansiveness of however far out your electromagnetic field goes, which if you're deeply connected to your heart, it's going to be going out further, because there's so many more neurons in your heart than your brain. And that is how everyone's electromagnetic fields interact and communicate without our conscious mind understanding or connection. And that's where yours and Flola's energies are just going to be dancing in harmony together. So the more we can create this on our own and with people around us, so that we've got that balance of independence and interdependence, I think they're the right words, then it brings us kind of, it's not really a fair way to explain it, but it's like compute you're going through the different levels of a computer game, and then you can finish that computer game, but the next one's kind of come out, and so you get to kind of then transcend on to the next experience by going back down into the physical tangible seeing reality. But you're going from you're bringing the energies up from the groundedness energies through the chakras and the heart chakra, out of the crown chakra of the purple and the violet, back into the red of that foundation and that solidity. I hope that makes sense. And on the bottom, we've got the five of pentacles. So that's the red. I mean, one could look at this and their initial reaction, I know you get tarot readers, oh, it's a 5, oh, it's negative. We don't really tend to go like that. Oh, it's wilted, oh, it's dying. For us, it's life. You have your seed grows, the plant grows, the apple tree grows, or the rose grows. Let's say rose, because we've just foraged some rose petals. And so we forage those rose petals, which means the plant isn't going to go through its full cycle. If the plant went through its full cycle, the rose petals would fall off naturally, and the rose bud, which is the death and rebirth, it's the plant's lived its full cycle, and the rose bud or the rose hip is then got the seeds in it to start the next level again. Or you could look at that as someone's cut some roses, and they're in water and they're dying. So if you do have any fresh flowers in your house, if you're like us, sometimes it can be, we have a few dead things around. It takes us ages to like move them out. But there's the process of us witnessing and looking at that and those energetics, which has a reaction inside of us as well. We also like drying our roses, so you could get your rose and before they die you could take them up and hang them upside down. But it's the natural cycles of life. It's raining in that card. 5 is the number of change, which brings freedom, and the pentacles are the earth again. So earth and groundedness and red is hugely important for your energetics at the moment to stay balanced. I don't know where this has come from, but this is on the side, just sitting there, because when we apply the new knowledge to gain physical, tangible experience, that is when we embody the knowledge and it gets turned to wisdom, and life starts feeling easy and happy and just not a mission. The hermit, it's not the hermit card, but the hermit is shedding a light on it, a light in the darkness. The wands have separated, 6 wands have separated. So the journey through the younger numbers of 1 to 6, rather than them being all entangled, like being trapped inside the big blackberry bush and not being able to get out without having thorns scratch you. And that's bringing us to before we had our seizures, and when we couldn't take deep breaths because our nervous system, we were in so much pain and agony with our protruding discs and all our injuries, and we hadn't changed our habitual pattern. Well, we were doing everything we possibly could to change our habitual patterning, but we couldn't, because we haven't got the words for it, but we would breathe and we could only go to a certain point, because then it would be the difference of being scratched by brambles or being slashed with a knife inside on our nervous system. So I don't know if there's anything there that speaks to you with that. So that's the bottom of the pack over there. You've got 2 in the middle, and then the top of the pack is, transition. There's a big transition time going on. There's big decomposition, composting energies going on. We said the liver detox, didn't we? There's toxins in your body potentially wanting to find a way out, and they could be finding a way out through negative mindsets, the old patterns coming back. Just be patient. Just go, nope, this is a purging. It's coming out. We can grasp this. We can have our breath. We can hum our way through it. We can shake our way through it. We can sound our way through it. We can dance our way through it. We can hug and slap hands, clap hands. What did you call it? I've got to scroll down. Oh, you've got to go. Sorry, we've just scrolled down. That's all right. We didn't do which card. We just do one last elemental oracle for you. You chose the elemental oracle, didn't you? And the earth magic. So we're just going to pull one of these because these have got words on. We need to shorten it down. We get obviously really excited about this, don't we? And we just talk away. That's not the one. Look at that. Put that one back. A little bit of shuffling. Give you an earth magic one. Ceremony, invocation. So it's not too late to do an invocation with the solstice energies to get some from the summer solstice, childhood innocence. So it may be that some memories are popping up from your childhood that are causing some dissonance and some distress. Welcome them in, make friends with them, love them. Maybe jot them down on paper or not. If you're like us and you don't have the energies, maybe Flola can do that for you. And have a burning ceremony. You've got the fire coming up there. Have a burning ceremony. And the elemental oracle. The biome, connection, 44, the environment. So maybe looking into making some of your own jeune kombucha, honey kombucha, sourdough bread, anything that's got live bacteria in, any of your kimchi, your fermented vegetables, and the environment around you and inside you, keeping it clean. Grow from plants, 19 on the bottom, and dark matter mystery, 38 on the top. So there's your little card reading, my lovelies. Hope you enjoyed that. Wonderful, that's great. We're so glad you're looking forward to the replay. Love and blessings back to you. Yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine. Great song by the Beatles there. Oh, well, that was a lovely one, but an intense one. We certainly do just go off on it. We need to understand that's where we're stuck in the spiritual vortex realms. Need to dance with time limitations and constrictions. So is this you, hi Tha R3N, that's watching now, if you're comfortable with chatting? We're just going to put on some more yellow submarine nails, second coat before we head off. I'm going to let that dry one more layer afterwards. Oh, we did say you're not here anymore, but that's okay, because we did say we were going to give you 3 words from the book. So as a surprise for you when you watch the replay, Capricorn Mercury and a Capricorn Sun. So the 3 words for, so this is Molly McCord. She's a great astrologer, more of a modern day one. Sun in Capricorn, Earth cardinal, that was right, wasn't it? Yeah, Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Mercury. Earth cardinal feminine, the words for you are administrator, elder, mentor, executive, wizard, entrepreneur. That's for your Sun. And then for your Mercury in Capricorn, responsible, conservative, and clever. So they're words to do whatever you like with. Okay, bye.